11 books we're looking forw.ard to reading this spring. Our editors review and recommend products to help you buy the stuff you need. If you make a purchase by clicking one of our links, we may earn a small share of the revenue. However, our picks and opinions are independent from USA Today's newsroom and any business incentives. There's something about warm weather that's inspiring. Once the temperature hits 50 degrees, I feel encouraged to walk from place to place instead of Ubering. Maybe I'll even pick up running again or start that herb garden I keep saying I'm going to build. Most importantly, I'll finally dig into that good book that's been sitting on my shelf for months. With vacations galore and longer days plenty, springtime is arguably the best time to read, especially after being cooped up with Netflix all winter. So I decided to ask around the office to find out what my coworkers are planning on reading to get some inspiration for my own spring reading list. Hopefully, I'll be able to finish them all before I inevitably fall back into a reading rut. I've only been a fan of The Bachelor franchise for 2 seasons. Call me a fraud, but after years of harping on the show, I finally got into it. I absolutely live for the drama while still being able to make fun of the ridiculous concept of the show. The behind-the-scenes details are apparently even juicier, which is why I'm so excited to dive into the tell-all book, Bachelor Nation. Courtney Campbell, e-commerce writer, that's me. Get Bachelor Nation on Amazon, $12.99 Kindle, $16.51 hardcover. I'm not sure if this is really spring-like, but I'm currently reading Akita Warrior. It's about a Nigerian girl who's involved in this magical, secretive society called Leopard Knox. Ashley Berry Biancuzzo, senior writer. Get Akita Warrior on Amazon, $10.99 Kindle, $12.91 hardcover. My number 1 book on my reading list is Yes Please by Amy Poehler. I've wanted to read her memoir since it came out in 2015. And I finally bought it during a recent Kindle sale. I can't wait for the first warm weekend where I can find a sunny spot to curl up with my Kindle Voyage, $199.99, and a big cup of cold brew and dive into the mind of my favorite comedian and female figure. Samantha Gordon, managing editor, e-commerce. Get Yes Please on Amazon, $12.49 Kindle, $10.25 paperback. Since the TV series came out, I've been meaning to read The Expanse books. So, I'm going to get the digital box set and power through it on some rainy spring day. Watching the show made me really interested in the world the books take place in. I also way less so want to be that smug guy that knows what's going to happen because I read the books a la Game of Thrones. Jonathan Chan, senior lab technician. Get The Expanse series on Amazon, $9.99 Kindle, $11.55 paperback. Each. I am looking forward to reading This Could Hurt by Gillian Medoff, which depicts the tragedy and comedy of working in corporate America during the recession. I expect to recognize and relive a lot of what I experienced during those years. Cindy Balin, senior staff writer. Get This Could Hurt on Amazon, $12.99 Kindle, $15.99 paperback. Dereliction of Duty by H.R. McMaster was published back in 1998 and has since been held up as one of the great books on the Vietnam War. I meant to read it when he joined the administration as National Security Advisor, as he was frequently hailed as someone who might bring stability to a historically unusual White House. Since he's now been drummed out, it seems even more important to get his take on how Washington insiders royally screwed up a war in Southeast Asia. David Kinder, editor-in-chief. Get Dereliction of Duty on Amazon, $13.99 Kindle, $7.50 paperback. I really want to read Jerry Ewing's Wondrous Stories, a journey through the landscape of progressive rock, and for the last few months have been counting out time leading up to its release on April 1st. Because it's a critically maligned musical genre that flourished only briefly, between 1968 and 1976, basically, there aren't many books about progressive rock, so it's pretty exciting to get one in 2018. Also, there's a foreword by Steve Hackett, who's one of my favorite guitarists. Lee Niekirk, Editor, Electronics Get Wondrous Stories on Amazon, $45 hardcover. I just recently discovered this hard science fiction author and have been working my way through his stuff. He creates these mind-bending universes and then tells a story within them. It can make it hard to identify with his characters at first, but then the more time you spend in the world he's made, the more you find yourself able to identify with them. Luke Bergen, Senior Developer. Get Ichronauts on Amazon, $9.99 Kindle, $15.99 paperback. While I haven't read in months, I'm working my way through The Conquering Tide, War in the Pacific Islands, 1942–1944 by Ian W. Toll, and am hoping to finish it this summer. It's the second book in a trilogy on the Pacific theater and Ian is super in-depth with crazy first-hand accounts from regular sailors to admirals. I'm a history nut, so I read a fair amount of books like these, and so far, this trilogy has been close to, if not the best series I've read. And yes, I feel like my 83-year-old grandfather when I read these, and I fall asleep just as easily while reading too. Connor Woolley, Editorial Coordinator. Get The Conquering Tide on Amazon, $9.99 Kindle, $12.20 paperback. I am really excited to get my hands on Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. I am a huge fan of his stand-up and the way in which he unpacks current events, social and racial issues, and politics in a way that is both witty and personal. Sure, he is known for his comedy, but Trevor Noah is a really interesting person who observes the world around him with